Hello everyone, and welcome to Experiential Game Reviews. I'm your host, Syon Grey. Today, we'll be discussing Legaia 2, Duel Saga. Legaia 2 was developed by Procyon and released by Eidos Interactive in October of 2002. The game is a turn-based, console-style RPG, but some people would call it a JRPG, or Japanese-style role-playing game. The game incorporates many standard elements of the genre, such as stats, skills, equipment, and the like. Although Legaia 2 has several unique elements that set it apart from other titles, we'll delve deeper into these as the review goes on. Being heavily story-driven is a common characteristic of games of this genre, and Legaia 2 is no different. One of the best parts of Legaia 2 and other games of this genre is that playing them is really like reading a good book. This being so, it is necessary to talk about the game's story to some depth, although I will avoid spoilers however possible. All cutscenes shown are from early on in the game, and I will avoid revealing key points of the storyline. The game's early story revolves around the town of Null, which is sustained by a lake created by the Aqualith, one of the three sacred stones. The stone was stolen by a mysterious gold-eyed stranger with seemingly infinite power, and it's your job to get it back. A lot of the early scenes and events involve your character or your party getting beaten up or apparently killed. That or captured, tortured, or imprisoned. That kind of thing. These events ultimately set the stage for later on, but it can be kind of annoying since there's nothing you can do about it. Legaia 2 features some story battles where you have no choice but to lose, although it doesn't always make this clear. For instance, one part in the beginning of the game, there's a difficult boss who is followed by a story battle where you can't possibly win. The first of these is a gorilla named Elfin, who ends up being an important character, although you have no choice but to kill him in the very beginning of the game. The battle with Elfin is quite difficult even if your character is well prepared. This is mostly since his damage is just so random. He'll hit you for zeros one time and for over 400 damage the next. It's very likely that a first-time player will lose this battle several times before being able to continue. And after defeating this battle, an unbeatable story battle is next. I feel like it's a bit rude since it can trick a player into using healing items, but ultimately it's not that important. The battle itself does a great job of introducing Marianne and Elliot, who are two of the game's main antagonists. They also at least have some cool-looking attacks that make losing the battle easier. Most of the dialogue is not voiced, although some of the cutscenes are, and all characters are voiced during battle. Some of the voice acting is a bit annoying, especially Marianne's voice, but overall it's just fine. And the writing itself is great, although it is cheesy at certain points. The game's humor is great, and certain parts of it are absolutely hilarious. It tries to make you feel bad for killing Elfin for most of the game, and this is hysterical. You see, Elfin was the pet of a man named Bubba who discovers that it was you who killed him. From this point on, Bubba constantly talks about how important Elfin was to him. This carries on for a good portion of the game and is a great running gag. I didn't mean to kill him. It was all just a terrible accident. Please forgive me, Bubba. A good story alone is not enough to carry an entire game, but thankfully, Legaia 2's combat system is both unique and fun. Those who played Legends of Legaia will recognize the attack system where up, down, left, and right are entered in different combinations to form various arts or art chains. In the beginning, you don't have a lot to work with only 3 art slots. However, these are gained as you level up. Normal arts are the weakest, but they provide AP and can be linked to the end of any other type of art. Super arts are slightly stronger, but these use AP. Unfortunately, these are not much stronger than normal arts and only see limited use. Hyper arts are much stronger and look much cooler, although they cannot be linked together. These will also level up to a stronger art with enough uses. The first level of each hyper art is learned through a scroll found throughout the game. It's also possible for 2 characters to unite for a variable art. These are very powerful attacks that use a lot of AP. Under the right conditions, most characters can use a mystic art as well that does tons of damage and looks spectacular. The combat in Legaia 2 is fun, although it can get tedious after a while since it takes a long time to enter commands and for attacks to play out. Thankfully, the game usually gives you something new to play with by the time you're bored with everything that your characters can do right now, like a new art slot or a new hyper art or origin attack. The game also has a very elaborate accessory combining system that allows you to create very powerful characters early on if you know what you're doing. This is really fun in subsequent playthroughs. Accessories are capable of providing passive and active skills which can affect combat in a wide variety of ways. Things like infinite AP, 1.5 times damage, or stat boosts every level. By combining the right accessories with extremely powerful combinations of skills can be created. When equipped in battle, the accessories themselves will even level up. This unlocks the various skills that they provide. It is normally the last unlocked ability on an accessory that will be passed off when combined, and this can be abused, although this changes from case to case. Not every accessory is capable of inheriting every skill, and the only way to figure this out is through trial and error. One of the things that stands out about Legaia 2 is how polished the game seems in general, even down to its user interfaces and how the graphics lack the typical muddiness that many PS2 games of this era had. The whole game has a mood to it that's just pleasing in general, although at times it can take lots of effort to play. Despite this, Legaia 2 rewards those who have patience with awesomeness.